Okay, guys, for those who are joining us, welcome. We'll start in just a couple minutes. We will let people kind of trickle in. I see people are trickling in now. But welcome, everybody. Okay. All right, so I see people trickling in. We'll wait like 2 more minutes, 2, 3 more minutes. Welcome to those who just joined. We're just going to wait about 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, I think we should get started. It is 1:04. I want to welcome everybody to another session in NAMIC New York's Quarantine and Build series. This is our webinar series that we put together in lieu of all of the recent issues going on. Of course, we have a national pandemic. Well, we have a worldwide pandemic going on, and we have decided to kind of adapt to the situation and put on some great digital programming for you. So we have gathered up some great speakers for you. We have some great workshops and panel discussions and webinars that we have planned for you for the next 2 months. So hopefully this won't go the full 2 months and we can have some in-person programming. I'm missing you guys so much, but we are moving forward with our digital programming right now, Quarantine and Build. For those who don't know me, my name is Radia Barnes. I am the president of the New York chapter of the National Association for Multi-Ethnicity and Communications. We are the leading diversity organization for people of color in the communications industry. And we want to empower people of color at work. We want them to go for those promotions. We want them to seek out those opportunities, go for those side hustles that you've always been thinking about and haven't acted on. So we just want you to feel very empowered in your personal and professional lives. So before we get started, I'm just going to turn it over to our Vice President Carvel Wallace very quickly, and then I will introduce our speaker for this afternoon. I will unmute you, Carvel.
Thanks, Radia. And thank you, everybody, for joining this afternoon. So as Radia mentioned, NAMIC is the National Association of Multi-Ethnicity in Communications. With the New York chapter, we have over 800 members in our base from all aspects of the entertainment, tech, marketing space. To find out more about NAMIC, you can go to namic.com/join. On that page, you can actually go ahead and sign up as a member, and also follow our social media pages, NAMIC_NY, our Twitter page, same thing, NAMIC_NY, Facebook, and also our YouTube, which is brand new. Some of the benefits of being a member include not only just having access to people within the industry, but you also have professional development events that we have, hosted all throughout the year. So that's just some of the benefits there. We also have our job board, which is brand new for the year. And we also have our mentorship program as well, which is brand new, which gives you access to, people in the C-suite who can guide you in your career. So I will kick it back to Radia, who will get this started.
Thank you, Carvel. So I'm going to read, everybody, please welcome J.Alexander Martin. So happy to have you here with us today. I'm going to read your bio, and it is teeny tiny, so I need my glasses. But I just wanted to quickly read your bio before we kicked it off. So J.Alexander Martin was born and raised in Hollis, Queens, New York. His professional desire was realized at a young age. With an evoked confidence, motivation, and a sense of direction, this allowed Jay to navigate around the traps of urban life that snared many of his peers. With his developed vision to become an efficacious entrepreneur, Jay attended the Fashion Institute of Technology after courageously serving with the United States Navy during Desert Storm. Thank you for your service. Jay is the, Carvel's trying to beat back in. Jay is the co-founder and creative director of FUBU, the collection, president of FUBU TV. He has held licenses and has worked with successful multi-million-dollar brands such as Crown Holder, Kappa, Drunken Monkey, Ted Baker, Coogee, LRG Leaders, Under Two Flags, Married to the Mob, Heatherette, as well as consulted with others such as Posner L'Oreal, Luster Hair Care Products, Echelon Indian Virgin Hair, Scoonchy, Campus Cognac, Fashion Vest, Vumi, Siemens, Samsung, Virtu, and he is a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce in New York and New Jersey. He's also worked with Sean John, Fabian Couture. Your list goes on and on and on. He is currently Executive Vice President, Creative Director, and co-founder of FUBU, and founder and CEO of FUBU Television Network and Partner Trace TV. He's also the author of Money Makes Me Crazy, which is a good book, by the way. We gave that away as a raffle at one of our events, and the person who got it loved it. He's a board member of the National Black Chamber of Commerce and president of the New York State Black Chamber of Commerce. His specialties are he's a fashion business mogul, TV host, public speaker, a personal branding consultant, and a creative director. Very impressive. Thank you so much, Jay, for being here with us today. We are
everybody can hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. Wait, first of all, before we start anything, I want to kind of dedicate this whole thing to Earl Graves, late great Earl Graves.
Yes.
Senior, founder of Black Enterprise and author of How to Succeed in Business Without Being Straight. Oh, sorry, without being white, sorry. Actually, that book's on sale. Everybody kind of go get it. It's kind of an interesting read, just as well as my book as well. But we're here. So like I say, I just want to dedicate this all to him. Another great leader, great businessman has passed away, and we're just going to take his legacy and keep it going.
Definitely. Black Enterprise was the Bible back in the day. Like we all used to get our copies, and I think I was in college and I used to always get my monthly copies. It was great. Our condolences to his family, and he will be resting in peace. He's left such a legacy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this, Jay. So you are a native New Yorker, Queens,
Yes.
Q Borough, Mad Thorough,
And,
right?
and it's so sad because the Q borough right now, supposedly, and I'm looking at the numbers that they have the largest cases in New York, like to date now. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even go home, So I'm like, stuck in my 57th Street apartment, and I'm just like, all right, well, glad we have these Zooms and technology, because you would never think about it.
We would be stuck. We
Yeah.
would be stuck. So you're from Hollis, Queens.
Yes.
How was Hollis, Queens back in the day? What was going on when you were a little boy back in Hollis, Queens?
A lot of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of drugs, a lot of entrepreneurs. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
My daily life is like, you wake up and you kind of walk down to the store and you see all the drug dealers lined up, see all the fancy cars and women and men and hanging around and looking like, everybody has millions and millions of dollars. Although, so it kind of gave you something to strive for, because it was there. But on the flip side of it, you didn't want it that way. You wanted it another way, because from time to time you'd see somebody there, and then maybe a month later you'd walk past and that guy wasn't there. But that wasn't there because he didn't show up. He wasn't there because he was either in jail or dead. So you learn that from a young age that isn't the way to go. And it kind of pushed me to kind of always think different, always have an alternative way of thinking. And that's probably my big memories of just growing up, just knowing my neighborhood.
Do you think growing up, well, let me ask you, how did you become so enterprising?
Well,
you started this company when you were very, FUBU, when you were young. How did you get the courage? What made you become so enterprising and say, you know what, I can do this?
Well, like mine's one, I can't just, take the credit for that. I have Damon John, everybody knows, from Shark Tank, Carl Brown, Keith Perrin, and myself. And, teaming up with guys like that, you only have one way to go, is up, because those guys we all had like minds of trying to do something. Now, Damon, of course, he was the type of guy, it's him and Carl, they went off and they were selling anything. Like, they saw it in the street, they would go down and steal like the mirrors from out of the garbage. Well, I should say steal, because in the garbage it's not stolen. But they would take the mirrors from and sell those. I mean, I remember Damon's room back in Queens, like he literally had mirrors all over the place, like, and everything was made out of a mirror, because he had an influx of mirrors. So again, those guys were running around, just selling stuff. My parents.
When you say Carl, did you mean Carl Kanai?
No, Carl Brown. Mm-hmm. So there's Carl Kanai, who runs Carl Kanai, mm-hmm. And there's Carl Brown, who is one of my founders, mm-hmm. Our founders. So basically, teaming up with those guys. I was always innovative, because my thing was my mother always had her own business, pretty much. My father went from a clerk to vice president of his company, and in the time working for finance. So, they always would teach me and keep going and kind of be a beacon to what, real entrepreneurship is. Although my father didn't work for his own, but he was, he showed me how to work hard and keep striving and keep going, even when the times are hard. Because again, if he's younger in the 70s, I'm in the 70s, and he's working hard every day and night, going to school, working, and trying to, enhance and make the family, because we never wasn't wealthy. He wasn't wealthy. We didn't have anything, but we looked like we had more, because he worked so hard to keep things, keep us feeling like we were better, not actually better, but we were better off.
Right.
and that just motivated me. And again, I'm adopted. So with me being adopted, you know, I'm in a family where it's like, wow, you know, I'm dealing with the mental strain as a kid of, well, my mother didn't want me and why she giving me away and all that stuff. And luckily I'm in a family where they're giving me love and nurturing me and showing me that there's a better way. So with that also was a push. And, you know, people like me in that respect, you know, we have certain phobias and fears because of that trauma of that. And with that, we always want to work harder. We always want to prove somebody wrong. We always want to say, go back to the, you know, that family and go, look, I made it anyway. You know what I mean? So that was like another drive that kind of pushed me to keep going.
Amazing, amazing. So growing up, you got together with these gentlemen. They all lived in your neighborhood, and you guys, were you all because back in the day, we know it was all about like hip hop and the way we dressed and the way we looked. Were you all like into fashion, all four of you, or were some more business minded and some were more on the fashion side?
Well, you know, between Damon and I, we always went shopping and tried to dress as much as we can. I didn't have much money back then. So I was always desire to look good. I didn't have the finances to look good, but I had desire.
Right.
You know, I had GQ written in the back of my head at one time. My mother made me cut it out though. But you know, so you know, everybody, it was always about, you know, wearing your Adidas or your Timberlands or, you know, your Levi's or your Lee's or your tracksuits or, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, it was always prevalent in front of us because a lot of, in that time, everybody had money. Now, well, all these other drug dealers don't have money. So they would walk in billboards to say, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. I see how they put that together. I see how they put that together. And again, our fashion was based off of not necessarily, you know, the actual garment, where we would take stuff that normally wasn't worn for whatever it was, like construction boots. We wearing it for fashion, but people use it really for construction. You know, if it was like these Carhartt suits, you know, Carhartt is used to do, you know, construction, and not even just construction, but just, you know, hard, because we need stuff. Remember, even if you were younger and you didn't have much money, you wanted something that's going to last you. So those type of garments actually lasted you and kept, you know, you wear that every day until the wheels fell off, you know? And then if you got fashionable and you had real money, then you get some Ballys and stuff like that. So I always was like dying to have something. So as soon as you get money, get a job and be able to, because I started working at, you know, a lot of fashion stores in all the malls. And as soon as you get a little money and you get a discount, now you go up and buying everything that you wanted. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, I always laugh at myself. I know when I bought my first house, I put a TV in every single room. Like, not that I'm going to watch TV in every single room, but I did because when I was a child, my sisters took over the TVs. So I could never watch what I wanted to watch. So I said, when I got my own, I'm going to be able to watch TV any way I want to. You know what I mean? So it's that move that drives you to keep kind of going and drives you to the direction and drove me to fashion more so than anything else.
And how did you guys get your business plan together? So you're these young guys.
We never did that, and that's the weirdest part. We never, like, traditionally, you know, how most businesses start. You get a business plan, you go off, you try to, you know, get some investors. You know, we did it hook or crook. We did it. We figured out how to make it happen. And as we grew until, I say it like this, a lot of time, there was a time when a lot of, when we were out and there's a lot of brands out and a lot of people were getting deals and everybody was looking at us like, whoa, how do they stay, you know, by themselves? How do they operating without, you know, losing their company, or how they operating without, you know, giving up all this investment, giving up investments? How we did that is we kept it for us, by us. We kept it within ourselves. We kept just grinding until people begged us to be a part of them. So we had a company called Samsung that came along and became our distributor. So that kept us independently owned, and them, independently owned per se, or whatever, and then they would distribute us, and that way we'd be everywhere. So we commanded, because we commanded that everybody wanted to have us. So we were the biggest company. I mean, to date, we're the largest company, Black-owned company. Well, shouldn't say Black-owned company, because Goya, I think, is bigger than us. Goya's been bigger than us for every year for the last, I don't know how many years I can count, but we're second. And, we grossed up to $600 million in sales. I say that, and sometimes I laugh, like, wow, that's a big number. And, if you ask my other partners, they'll say, oh, I never thought it was going to be this way. I always thought it was going to be this way because I wanted to be this way. Another thing about my partners is that Damon, he didn't care about being in fashion. Keith didn't care about being in fashion, nor did Carl. I was the one that said, hey, I went to school for fashion and said, hey, you guys are making some hats. This was Carl and Damon were making some hats. Let me turn those hats into, a clothing line. So, of course, Damon is like, look at me like I got 4 heads and 6 arms. And he's like, well, we don't have any money. So then I got some money out of the military. When I came out of the military, I got like $6,000 from actually a car accident. That was when I was in the military. And I took 5,000 and said, here, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to start this business. And that's how Food started.
Amazing. Do you think your time in the military helped you as a businessman, as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, yes. And it's funny. And I've been reaching out. I don't know if maybe somebody's on here and they could even make a call, or they knowing somebody that knows somebody. But I've always wanted to go back to the military somehow and give back to them and for what they gave to me. And what they gave to me was a sense of purpose, a sense of the world is bigger than my block. Because when you coming up in our ages, and you coming up in the hood, and you coming up in these rural areas, that's all you know is that block. Like, I know some people that don't come to Manhattan and they live in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just don't.
Yeah.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they went out overseas because they went to Miami. Yep. So not necessarily, I don't want to discredit them by saying they're small-minded, but you only can live within your nucleus. You only know what's in your nucleus. So what it did was it expanded my mind. It showed me that there's more than that. It showed me fashion from around the world. It showed me people from around the world. It showed me different cultures and environments and how people act and talk and, and not just, and relate and everything, even just breathe,
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. So it expanded you, and you come back, and now you start, and even just music, because I remember going to meeting, people from all over. I'm sitting bunked with somebody from North Carolina, and I ain't never been to North Carolina, or even some people from overseas per se. So you're amongst all these people and all these cultures and now all of a sudden you're learning and expanding your mind. You come back and you bring back the music, you bring back the life, you bring back everything. Mm-hmm. And now you're on the block and you're looking at everybody else and they're like, well, this something ain't right. Like I got to then you still want more. You have desire to do more. And I think that's what developed something I always know that I have, and drive. And I say one day I'm going to figure out and write a book about how to teach drive, because really it's hard to teach because people aren't motivated to do something. And if they reach a brick wall, they're not going to not go around it. They're going to just stand at the wall and just look at it and be, woe is me.
Exactly.
So that drive is really, really important. And I think the military teaches you that. The one thing I really, really learned was there's a terminology, and if I can remember it, it's paying attention to detail. Now, there's a thing where it's what they kind of teach you and you start learning it, right? So you would do something 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times over. Even when you didn't want to do it, you would do it over and over and practice and go back over it and clean 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 it and go back over this and do that. And it's like, well, why am I doing this? I'm tired. Because it's ingrained in you and it just keeps you. So when you pay attention to detail, you're always on point. Nobody can pull that one over you because you're always on point. You're always looking around. You're always looking around your surroundings. You're always, you know, when I go out and party. I used to party. Well, I used to party before this was all over. You know, and when I partied, people were like, yo, you always out and you always, you know, around and I'll be there for like 10, 15 minutes and then leave and go another spot. Why am I standing there? I'm 50 years old. Why am I in a club? Not in the club because I really want to be. I'm in the club because I'm looking around to find the next thing. I'm looking around to see what's fashionable. I'm looking around to see how people act. I'm looking around to see what other age groups act. I'm looking around to see how older age groups act. I'm looking around to see it all. And I go back home, I'm sitting around, and now, oh, I know the next thing. Because as a creative director, you have to think about things 8 years, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, 9 months in advance. Most people can only think about what they're gonna do tomorrow. I got to think about what you're going to do 8 months from now.
And does that have something to do with, because now you were, you know, you guys were so popping in the 90s, and now I see you have entered into like reality TV. You have like a TV network. Is that your way of just adapting to the times?
You know what? Media rules the world, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
How I got into TV is back, I don't know, maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago, there was a influx of people who were actually, you know, professionals in whatever they do. And they were looking for a lot of people to be on television. So you would get a television show because, you know fashion very well. And then they put you on, or, you know, you can cook very well and they put you on a show. So I was running around trying to be, this is a true story. I was running around trying to get on TV, and I'm running. My partner had already got on. So I'm like, okay, I know I can get on. So I'm running. And honestly, I couldn't get not one gig. I got a couple of pilots, but nothing ever happened. And a gentleman came to me, and the only reason why it did happen because it's one of those things where almost like Big Brother, Little Brother, because the Big Brother made it in that arena, and so now everyone's like, well, they're not going to actually take me; they're going to take him because now he's more popular. So now I got to kind of take a back seat. So I said, after a while, a friend of mine came to me and said, hey, listen, I have these video on demand channels. I'm like, video on demand? What the heck is that? He's like, well, it's actually television. If you go to Comcast or Verizon, you go to your video on demand. Every station has one, video on demand station, and you go it and you can have your own programming. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll take it. And that was about 15, 16 years ago. And I've been going on since then. I mean, as of recent, there's a lot of notoriety because we have the Little Bootsy show, and that's about to launch probably like not next month, in about 2 weeks, and a Lamar Odom show. So I put a lot of money into content, and we have a couple of deals that we're working out right now that are actually, you know, getting even bigger. So it's just a matter of rolling with the times. It's a matter of being a visionary. You know, if you can't do A, then what can you do? Like, everybody wants to be it, but there's other ways to be it. You know, if people like, oh, I could do it. You know, I'm singing in the shower, I could do it. I could be a singer. No, but don't do what everybody else is doing. Sometimes that's not for you. And what happens a lot of times, people spin and they spin thinking they're supposed to be doing A, but really supposed to be doing B. So my thing was, I want to be on TV. I look good. I can speak. I'm entertaining. I'm this, I'm that. And it was like, no, that's not for you. What's for you is to own the whole thing. So then when I kind of realized that, I said, fine, that's what I'm going to do. And I've been pushing it. And now I have like one of the two top expected shows, you know, out. I got We calling me. I got AMC calling me. I got everybody's like, could we share in it? And we'll figure it out.
It's hyped. I've been seeing the promos and the chatter about it. You know, everybody's really excited about it. So I think it's really important for people to know that the life of an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur such as yourself, is not always easy. It's not always gains. Sometimes you may have some losses. You have to take a few steps back in order to leap and to achieve success. Can you just tell us about your trajectory, excuse me, maybe something that you saw as a setback and it ended up being something positive, or just, how failure has not deterred you, but encouraged you?
Well, it's funny. People ask that question, and it's like the $100 million question. And I always say to myself, I never, they were like, okay, if I can get into this incubator thing and I could change and I could press a button and all of a sudden I can go back and then come back forward and I wouldn't change a thing.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna tell you exactly how it works. You try to do a deal, right? Just to make some money. You try to do this just to try to make some money. It doesn't work. You try that, it doesn't work. You try that, it doesn't work. You try that, it doesn't work. You try 5 more things and it don't work. Now, most people would turn around and go, oh my God, this is not working. I don't know what to do. No, me, I keep going and I try more and I do something else. I do something else and maybe that don't work. But now, all those things that don't work, now I know why they don't work. So now I'm sitting there consulting somebody, and they'll sit there and they'll get on the phone, or we'll do a conference call, or I'll be in the office and they'll be talking about, well, I want to do this, and then I'll have that answer already in my head. Look, that's not going to work. This is going to work. And they're like, well, how do you know that? Or they're going to say this before. Watch. 5 seconds later, this lawyer's going to say this, and then he says it. It's like, well, how'd you know that? I know that because I know I failed. So I never even think about it.
Right.
I know how to do it. If you keep going, if you go down a one-way street and we driving, I went down a one-way street already. If we driving and you make a right, I say, listen, don't go down that block. Why? How you know? Because I know I went down, it was a one-way street. So we gotta keep going straight. Like,
Mhm.
it's just as simple as that. I know that just sounds like, okay, duh, but it's as simple as that.
Mhm.
Just keep going. Now, keep going but there's a time that you have to kind of put it all on paper and know that you're going the right way. Because some people will keep going because I always call it, people go, I spoke about this when I was doing the panel, and I talked about people having that tunnel vision and being stuck on one thing. You can't do that. You have to be open for everything that comes, and then you can move and shake for whatever something happens, kind of standing wide instead of standing narrow. And because if you going 1 foot at a time, I can tip you over. But if you standing with your legs out firm, I can't tip you over. So whatever problem comes to you, you could be able to handle it.
Right.
Because you're on solid ground. And a lot of times too, to add to that, is people want to, especially in this world, people want to jump the ladder. Now, how do you jump a ladder? You can't. But they're gonna try. You gotta take 1 foot at a time. If not, your ass is gonna fall.
Yep. I agree. And I always look at, I never say that I have failed at something. It was just part of my journey. It's a life lesson. What
Mhm.
was that supposed to teach me? So I really kind of embrace my setbacks.
Mhm.
A lot of times people have great
Well,
ideas.
no, setback is not setback. It's called set up.
Set up. See, that's the positive talk right there.
And
Set up.
too, that's a whole nother thing too. People with positive talk. I mean, to me, it is what it is. Like
Mhm.
in certain cases, it's black and it's white. In that case, it's black is white. It's a setup. That's all it is.
Okay. From now on, that's it.
Because you know why I say, you know why? Because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people hurting. And I've been trying, man, it's not happening for me, it's not happening for me. And I believe, just like you said, and I believe, and these books say all the time, I believe like you said, and it doesn't happen. And then all of a sudden they want to take their life because they just feel like it's not going to work. So that's why I try a different way. I say, no, when it's time, it's time. When you're ready, it'll happen. But you got to put in the work. So if
Right.
I change their mental thinking that, no, you just put in the work. You can handle the work. Work knows. It knows who's working. You can't cheat work. So if I change their mind and then thinking that, look, every day is a struggle, yes, but that's for everybody. And right now, everybody's on the same level now.
Right.
Everybody, it's a reset. Everybody's reset now.
Mm-hmm.
Even millionaires, zillionaires, they all reset. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Because they got to figure out what's the next thing. So that's the moral of the story, is figuring out what's the next thing.
Figure it out. I find that the conversations that I have with a lot of people who want to start a business, who want to get their side hustle together, that they let fear stand in their way.
Yeah.
They are like, oh, every excuse. How do you combat, or how do you advise young, sprouting people with these great ideas who just don't have the confidence to move forward? People have big ideas and big dreams, but they just do not want to step into it.
Well, see, that's another problem too. A big idea doesn't work without a first step. And that's a little idea. That's the whole thing, where the ladder. You're like, I speak somewhere and I'll sit there and it's like in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you about all the things that I am, because you can't be that. You can't do that. You could do only what you could do. So when people think too big, and I don't want to say too big, you got to think one step at a time, and then you get to that big thing. You could look at, and then whose big idea is that? Sometimes it's not even theirs. It's they saw somebody else doing it, and now they want to go do it. And that's their life, and that's their vision, and that's what they're doing. But what are you doing?
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And you can't share somebody's, blessing. It's their blessing. So that's first. That's the first thing that the person has to do. And I know a lot of people, just as well, like you're saying, that are scared of success because they never had it. And stuff like that changes your life. Again, money makes you crazy. That's the name of the book, same as plug, but it makes you crazy. It can. Because you never had these experiences. You never had this happen. And you've been wanting this to happen for so long. Now you can't handle it because it's too big for you. So take the small bites until you get to the big pie. That's the only way that person is going to be able to work. It's going to be able to work for them, because you can't jump from I'm done, I started, and I'm done. Now, in certain cases, yes, it may be somebody on the internet, I don't know, put some cats up, and all of a sudden they got billions of views, and everybody wants them all over the place. But God willing, hopefully they can handle that success or that fame, because fame and success are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And people mix that up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I ask somebody, what you want to do? Oh, I want to be a celebrity. Whoa, or I want to be a mogul. Well, or I'm my brand. Your brand. Wait, first of all, you don't you're missing some steps. You start something, you get known as that, and then all of a sudden that happens, because you're out the face of that person, face of that becomes a brand. You don't start and all of a sudden I'm a brand. Or just because you went to uspto.gov and put up a trademark and then make one t-shirt and say, oh, look at my brand. No, brand takes time.
A lot that goes into it.
What goes into it?
Mm-hmm.
Do the work.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about networking? How important is networking, meeting people? Again, a lot of people are kind of hesitant on doing it. They may be shy, they may be introverts, but how important do you think it is getting connected to the right people, especially in the industry that you're trying to break into?
Well, I think it's imperative to do that, especially, for instance, because I know somebody, or because I spoke to this person back 6 months ago, now all of a sudden I have a relationship where I'm selling of medical supplies to the government right now as we speak. Because I met somebody 6 months ago. Because now I'm cashing in on that relationship. Everything's about relationships, about who you know half the time.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows that other person. So there's nothing, but then again, meeting the wrong people or dealing with the wrong people, or the people that are not trying to be, above anything, that can help hurt you too. So pick and choose the places that you're actually going to, like organizations like organizations with what you're doing, and the other organizations that you're going to, and you're there, and these are all like-minded people that all want to be someone. But networking ain't really necessarily going to the club,
Right?
Going to the lounge. That's relaxing. It's different. Now, yes, the only way network could be going to the club is if you're going to actually be seen. Like I go places to be seen as just as well, because I still want to be relative. I still got to be relative to people. Oh, that's the guy from FUBU. Oh my, yes, the guy from FUBU. Oh, I saw him. Oh, that's the guy from FUBU. Oh, he's still, well, I'm right now, I'm wearing a FUBU suit and I got a FUBU watch on. And this is my own brand of ties.
Okay.
So you go out to be seen. You're sitting here to be seen. This is all networking just as well, even though I can't see whoever's here. But I guess eventually some button will to go on and I'll see who's here just as well. But that's networking too. You have to. It's imperative to keep getting out there and learning. You cannot just sit in your own bubble and think your bubble is gonna get bigger, because you're not doing anything to make it bigger.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with that. Guys, you can start dropping questions to Jay in the Q&A box. I want to ask you, what advice do you have? We have something very unique, even though it's very scary, going on right now. This is a time where everybody is home. Everybody is kind of self-reflecting. Everyone is kind of, like you said, resetting. What advice do you have to people right now? What should we be doing? What should entrepreneurs be doing? How should we be thinking?
Well, this is the optimum time to create, to reflect, and that's it. Create and reflect. Reflect on what you're missing, or how you feel that, how you can enhance. Like right now, for instance, I don't like my penmanship. I never did. So I'm at home practicing my penmanship. Not that you have to write anything anytime anyway, but I just never liked it. So I'm at home and I'm writing ABCs like a little boy in kindergarten, just to get my penmanship to what I like it. That's reflecting. I'm self-reflecting on the things that can enhance me. And then I'm taking those things and I'm utilizing them to make myself better. That's one. You have to do that, period. Everybody should be home doing that, because now it's back home, back to family. It's back to family. That's period. We all stop around because we all running around trying to do something, but we don't just sit back and look at the, smell the coffee or smell the roses of because we always running. Hey, I'll be back, or I'll call you. I know I forgot to call you because I was now what you doing? But right. I'm just taking this time to look into myself and find out what I don't like about myself. Find out what I could do better. Find that. Once I do that now, and with businesses, what I'm doing is looking at what's missing, looking at how I can, take advantage of the situations at hand. A lot of millionaires and billionaires, a lot of businesses come out of these. Sorry, someone's trying to. It's gonna keep going. Okay, so a lot of businesses came out of these things, these natural disasters or calamities. You have to just find out how you can help. I was telling somebody the other day, It's a woman. She's sitting at home. She's like, man, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think of what I could do. And I said to her, well, you like to sew, right? She's like, well, yeah, of course. So sew a couple of masks, sew 50 masks. Take them to the local store. Really? Stop calling me, man. If I just declined you, obviously I'm on the phone. So I told her, I said, make 50 masks. Take it down to the local stores, not CVS, not whatever, but the ones that are mom and pops, and say, hey, listen, I get this to you on consignment. If they sell, I get the money and I bring you back more. This is my number, you call me back. Guarantee they're gonna sell. You know why they're gonna sell? Because right now I'm selling masks to government, whatever. I don't have a mask.
Same here. Same here.
So,
and I don't know where to get one.
and I know where to get one.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That period. Now all of a sudden, you know, you're doing it for a small time. So now you're making some money while you're sitting around. You know, she works for real estate, so nobody's buying and selling anything.
Yeah.
Well, you can get stuff in order. Now, also I was telling people, I'm taking the time to learn to get my real estate license. They were like, well, why are you getting real estate? You don't need that. You're gonna go sell houses? No. But I have a lot of deals. I know a lot of people that want to buy buildings. I have a relationship with a lot of billionaires. So I know that if I plug them into this person, buy into this, I'm only getting a fraction of what I could be getting. But if I was a salesperson, I could park my license with that firm, and all of a sudden now I get a point. Now I'm doing $1 billion deals, you know, selling One World Trade Center and new, you know, stuff like that. So what's the point on $1 billion that I could share in?
A whole lot.
Whole lot. So it's just like this. I mean, look, there's tons. It's all there. Like, oh, you just go to internet, search. What do I like to do? What do I think is going to happen? Oh, real estate. Let me type in real estate school. Done. Start taking the test. So when start taking, because you have to basically, to do real estate, you have to take a bunch of tests and and then you take the real test from a proctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, once this is all over, God willing, then I'll go take the test and pass, and then I'll make more money. But there's tons of stuff. I mean, look at if you're a hairstylist, all right, that's an independent contractor, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, girl, you need your hair done? I can't come see you. All right, I'm going to show you how to do your hair, right? Get on Instagram. Listen, here's my Cash App. Give me $30, half the price, $30. We'll sit there and I'll show you how to braid. No, not like this. You turn it this way. Okay, turn it this way. All of a sudden your hair is braided. I mean, think. It's not that. This is not brain science. I'm not fucking that smart. Like, just think.
We have some questions for you. Listen, you guys, this is some good stuff here. Okay, this person didn't give their name, but they said, what are some of the most important characteristic traits you believe a person needs to be able to succeed?
Fortitude, desire, stick-to-itness, a realist, visionary. Should I go on?
That was some good ones. I hope, guys, I hope you're writing this down. What would you?
What's it? I'm saying it wrong. Practical.
Mm-hmm.
Pragmatic. Definitely pragmatic. Yeah, that's it.
Those are good ones. Those are good. What would you say are the keys to longevity for your brands or projects? You've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah. And funny story. So yesterday when we did a mock-up of what would happen tomorrow. I had a full beard on with all my whiting. And today I look like a total different person. I know you looking like, what just happened? If anybody want to see what I look like with a beard, go to A Fashion Mind on Instagram and you'll see what a couple of things back I had a beard, but now I'm back to smooth baby face.
Clean cut.
Okay, so I'm sorry, what's the question?
What would you say are the keys to longevity for your projects, or brands?
The key to longevity is a customer base. You keep innovating your product, keep understanding what that person wants, and you'll keep in business. What happens is a lot of times in business, people get too big for their own self. They, when you got this big dream, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, and then you get to it, then you stop. That's why I never have a goal. I got a vision. I work within what's happening. But for me, it may not be somebody else. But if I have a goal, I get to that goal. Now what? So I just keep going and going. Excuse me, going and going and going and going and going. And knowing what that customer, studying that customer, studying why they buy, studying. Know that customer, know your customer, know other customers, and how you can get to those guys. Always reinventing yourself. That's the only way that you can keep them stay in business. I don't care what it is.
Agree. Someone else asked, millennials are the largest population to ever exist on Earth. With such a large population, how does one stand out in such a large mass?
My new book, I speak about this that's coming out. It talks about how millennials work as a microwave, and I work as a traditional oven. So it takes a while, and you're baking it, and you're baking it, you're baking it, you're baking it, you're baking it, and it's just it's baking, it's coming together, it's baking, versus instantly I want it. So that's the difference.
Definitely. I think I'm an oven as well. I love my millennials. I mean, I love them. They keep me going. They keep me in the know. But I'm definitely an oven. Alana asks, did you seek?
Let me throw another statement out.
Okay.
When I speak afterwards, I say, and you heard it before, when I'm saying something or anybody else telling you something, just you take it with a grain of salt and you season it into your life. You don't take what I say and go, that's what I'm going to do. Because it may not work for you. I can describe something as a goal saying I don't do it. That's not necessarily saying you shouldn't do it. Maybe you have to do a goal. Maybe you have to set a goal and then stop and then go set another goal. Maybe. But there's something in there that I'm saying that'll help you keep your drive going. There's something in a book that you can take out of it and keep it going. Because I'm never one of those guys that go to these cult, things where it's like, you're going to change your life. You give me $100 million, 100,000, well, not 100,000, I'm exaggerating, but you give me all this money and you come and you sit in this class and I'm going to change your life. Because now I'm changed into what you're thinking. And it's not based off of truly who I am. So you got to find who you are and then use that to build you. I can't do it for you. Only you could do it for you. So right now, everybody is on an even keel. You sit at home, you reflect, you figure out what's going to make you better, what's going to help you, what you're going to do next. Because some people aren't entrepreneurs. You're not built for it.
Right.
So don't you listen to me talking about, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to start a baking. I'm going to start this. I'm going to start that. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe it's something else for you. And you just got to figure that out. Once you figure that out, then you move forward.
And that's very important. Find your lane. I think once you find your lane, find your purpose, everything else kind of falls into place. So that really takes self-reflection, and that really takes time with yourself to kind of figure that out. And that's something I
You got enough time sitting at home by yourself.
listen, we got a whole lot of time. Alana asked, did you seek investors for FUBU? If so, any tips on seeking investors?
We did not seek, we did once. We tried once to seek an investor, and there were a lot of scam artists. I always say invest in yourself and build it to a point where someone is begging you to give you money. Now, how do you do that? You start from scratch. You make one, you show proof of concept, you keep going, you got 2 people looking at it, you got 3 people. And it's really weird because I always said to myself, and well, actually not me, just me, but we always laugh, other guys, we say, if we had social media at this time, when we were really, really popping, oh my God. Whoo! It'd be crazy. So there's so many things out. Like I saw yesterday, when I was researching to do this, I saw this company where you can have your own, you can make your own beauty products. You can have a whole line that do all the work, everything for you. In a couple of $100, maybe $1,000, $50. You'll have an old product line, and then they'll drop ship it to you. Drop ship it to your client. So all you got to do is do beauty things, show how it works and whatever. And all of a sudden, go on Instagram, put your Cash App up there, and all of a sudden now you're making a whole bunch of money right now selling beauty products because you're on this you sitting there showing everybody how beautiful you look and going wow, wow, wow. And all of a sudden I buy that product, and then everybody's sitting at home like, oh, I want to look like her. And all of a sudden now you sold everything. Now you got your own products. Keep it moving. And you don't need what you need. So everybody looks for somebody to help them. Ain't nobody here to finance your dreams. And if they are, they're going to take them. So try the best you can to fund it yourself and keep going.
Be self-funded.
And then let them come to you. What kind of deal you get when you go to somebody and say, yo, help me? But what kind of deal you cut when somebody come to you and says, yo, I want to help you? And I'm like, oh, well, I think about it. So if you have that mindset, you keep going. I want to prove, if there is going to be an investor, you want to prove to them that you don't need them. And you're going to do it anyway. But that way you'll cut a deal that's favorable for you. Because most people just want the money. Just give me the money. I'm tired of working. Again, it goes back to not cheating work.
And cheat work. I like it. Okay, so Bianca, my cousin. Hi, cousin Bianca. She's an entrepreneur in the beauty space. She asked, how do you stay inspired on the days you feel off your game?
I look back at the day that it worked or the day that it wasn't inspired. I don't know if that made sense. Like, if today, something that doesn't work today, I reflect on the day it worked yesterday, when it worked yesterday. And I have this weird thing, which actually works for me. It may not work for anybody else, but it works for me. It's not a problem unless you're working on it. So I put that in the back of my mind and I keep moving until I'm working on that problem. So I won't focus on it. I'm only focused on the good and the joy and the progress. I'm not focusing on the negativity, the negative aspects of something going wrong. And then when I have to focus on that problem, I'll focus on that problem and I'll deal with it. But I'm dealing with it from a different mindset. I'm dealing with it from it's just a job and I'm handling it as in a pragmatic way. It's psychological. It's all how you think about it. It's just another way to think about it. I'm not saying I'm right, or I'm wrong or whatever. It's just another way to think about it. If you put those practices in, it may work for you. It may not. Maybe the next person that comes on, they'll say something else and that'll work for you.
Yeah. And also, I think it goes back to the passion part. If you're doing something that you love and you're passionate about, listen, there's so many days that I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, but I really believe in what I'm doing, and that kind of keeps me going. So, and sometimes you have to give yourself a rest, give yourself a break. If you have to take a whole weekend, a whole week, just to like kind of sit back and reset and like, just like, you know what, I need a break from this, you will approach it renewed. I'm a big, I didn't know we were going to get this much of a break, but I'm a big person on giving yourself a break.
I ain't asked for all this break. I said,
yeah, this is a break. This is a break.
Yeah. You know, people are like, oh man, I just need a vacation. Oh, okay. That's what you need? No problem.
Vacation. Leah asks, do you recommend entrepreneurs study their competitors or just focus on the needs of their target, or both?
Yes and no. Because the target, yes, you always gotta study your target. But your competitors, sometimes you move, like, how do I say this? Like, we never looked at our competitors. And that's just us as FUBU. We'd always zig when people zag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we kept the longevity, because we were always ahead of the game. Okay, for instance, if I'm always looking to the side to see what the next person's doing, how am I going forward?
Right.
If I'm driving and the cop sees me, right? Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks.
Sorry, guys. And a cop sees me, right? And I pull over and he keeps going. And I turn around and I go in the back of him and
Blowing up.
yeah, sorry. And I'm in back of him. He can't catch me because I'm in back of him. Now, if I was in front of him, he can't catch me. I know that both of those scenarios and analogies sound like weird, but what I'm really trying to get to the point of is that you do what you do and you do what you do best. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Now, you can look the other way for 5 seconds, but turn back and stay. You want them to be looking at you. You don't want to be looking at them.
Right.
So it's almost elitist, and it's almost like I'm better. But sometimes you got to be better. If you're in business, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You're trying to get more shelf space.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know now. If you turn around now, one thing you may look and say, just to see a better product, you may want to put things together to see whatever, but that's it. But you got to find your own direction, because what if you turn around and think that they're doing better at something and they're not? And you turn around and take what they're doing and try to enhance it, but that's not what the movement is. Like, what I try to tell people too is just, you have to look into yourself and find out what your destiny is, what your passion is, and keep going with that. Stay in your lane and keep going down your lane.
Yes.
Stop veering off to look at everybody else's lane, because they might be looking at you and you looking at them.
Yep. All right. Do you have any tips for someone who may be intimidated because the industry they want to break into it seems oversaturated?
First of all, you shouldn't be intimidated by anything. What are you intimidated for? They put on the pants just like you. I don't know if it's a man or woman. They do their makeup just like you if you're a woman. Same thing. So what you intimidated for?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing else to say about that.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, you have, again, you're in your own lane. You're going to enter that lane, that industry your way.
Your way.
So go for it. Like, don't
yeah. Why are you gonna let them stop you? They're not even in your face to stop you. They're not even there. It'd be different if they was in your face and they were saying, yo, we gotta stop this person. They're not even there. You're getting your own way. Get out your own way. You're worrying about the wrong things.
Yep. Do you have any tips on balancing personal and business life?
Oh.
Are you able to balance business?
Yeah, you know what? Somebody said, somebody was telling me the other day, they said that one of the most eloquent things that somebody said to them was, what's the most important thing in life? And they said balance. And when you really think about that, it's really, really important. I mean, balance is balance. Balance is staying stable. Because if it goes one side too much, or left one side too much, or it's teeter-totters, it could always teeter-totter a bit, but it can't fall to the floor. I think you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? The best thing is they have their life and you have your life. And when you're not doing your life and she's not doing her life, then y'all come together. Because everybody needs space. Everybody needs space at sometimes, and everybody sometimes doesn't want space. And sometimes you may think that person wants space, they don't want space. And sometimes it goes back and forth. So
that sounds like a communication thing.
Communicate, and then that was the next thing. Then it comes to communication. Because what do you really want? What do you want? I don't know. All right, you know what? Until we figure it out, let's just sit here and just chill.
Just chill.
Because that's what I do. I'll just listen. Let's just sit and relax. If I can't just sit around you and do nothing, then there's a problem.
Right.
Because that's because even right now, you have a lot of people sitting at home right now with their spouses or whatever, and they running. Now they got to sit around and be with that person. And be with their family and the kids. And they've been escaping all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now it's just a matter of knowing, this is, and appreciating what's not there, appreciating what's there now. People don't do that. Now you have to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Appreciating what it's really hard to answer that question because everybody's different. Everybody's relationship is different. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to suggest anything, I just suggest just learning each other. Knowing what each other ticks, communication. And if you don't have that, it's never going to work.
I agree. Are there any unwritten rules about being an entrepreneur? Jenny asked that question.
No, because an entrepreneur writes the rules. They rewrite the rules if there is a rule. In a business may be run traditionally certain way, but an entrepreneur comes in there and rewrites the whole thing, and all of a sudden now the whole business is going a whole nother way. It's like, well, wow, what did they do different? And that's what an entrepreneur is. They just come in and do them different, or they come in and enhance a product.
Mm-hmm. Like it. You spoke about being adopted and how that shaped your life and proving people wrong. Do you feel like you overcame that? And how does being adopted influence you today?
I think I somewhat overcome it. Sometimes I reflect on it and it gets me a little sad. But then I rejuvenate myself and go, look where I am, look where I come, and I keep it moving. What was the second part?
The second part was, does it still influence you right now?
So what's the first part?
The first part was you spoke about how it drove you to prove people wrong.
Right. I mean, like I said, it worked for me because, like I said, you always have a connection to something that never connected with you. So you always, and you do that to thank, not necessarily to show them, just as well to thank the people that helped you become who you are, because you wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for them. So right. You say it's a thank you to them too, because look what you did, look where I am, look what I've done. And I appreciate the fact that you did that and you sacrificed all you did for someone that it's not even, your birth. They didn't birth you. You didn't have to do that. So look, I'm going to do whatever I can to be successful. So you wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? So you can go, wow, I'm proud. or to make you proud, I should say.
Amazing, really good. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Basola, she asked, well, she is asking, I've read that the release of Platinum Fubu ultimately led to conflict in the market for Fubu due to the current market at the time not being able to afford it. How do you suggest those of us who want to serve specific markets that may not be able to afford the worth of their product at the moment?
That wasn't necessarily the case. I don't know what she read that at. Maybe one of my partners was ad-libbing a little bit. Um, everybody talks how they talk and feels how they feel, how what's happened. I don't necessarily think that was how it happened. I think when we put out a product that was supposed to be higher than another product, then everybody wanted that product and nobody wanted the other product. So Fubu would be inferior because, you wearing regular Fubu. Oh, well, I'm wearing, Platinum Fubu. So everybody wanted that more than they wanted Fubu. So everybody has a diffusion line. So Fubu became a diffusion line, and Platinum Fubu became the line, the more high-end line. So that's what made it a problem. Not necessarily people couldn't afford it. They bought it. Because just for instance, if you have Gucci and Prada's and all that, nope, they don't never have that problem because everybody's like, look, I'm going to buy it regardless. And that's why African Americans, not even African Americans, multiculturally, that's what they felt like. Hey, listen, I want this product because it's for us and it's by us and it's for us. However, and that's what they wanted, and they were going to get it hook or crook, and it was a status symbol. So I don't necessarily think that nobody didn't want it because it would just cost too much. If not that, you would have bought, you'd buy regular Fubu and still be all right. But the higher end, or what do you call those people now? The millennials, they call themselves the influencers. That's influencers. They like back then, they were gonna get it, and everybody wanted it still because they had it, and that's what it was.
Yeah, I used to rock my Fubu.
Me too. I still do.
I used to rock my Fubu. What is this person didn't leave their name, but what is your favorite and least favorite thing about being an entrepreneur?
Oh my God, what's my favorite thing? My favorite thing is my own hours and be able to be in control of my own destiny. And my least favorite thing is not having people around that don't believe in where I'm going. Because as an entrepreneur, you need people to work for you. And most times you want people around you that are your friends, and trying to grab your friends and bring them towards what your goal is and what you're trying to do, or your vision, bring them to your vision, and not being able to do that is the worst part. Because you want to help others. People start something because they want to do better or they want to improve something, and you want to see the smile on somebody's face or whatever it is that thing is. And if you can't get people to be on board, that just hurts me. I don't know about anybody else.
I get it. Would you ever do a show like Shark Tank?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I created a couple of shows that eventually be on our network, my network. Similar, not necessarily similar, but money wise, or talking about entrepreneurship and money just as well.
What linear and digital platforms can we find your network work on?
We have a deal with Comcast, Yahoo, and Verizon. So, and then we have a digitally forusbyus.com.
Very good. How important is spirituality in your journey?
Oh no, spiritual, definitely. I wake up every morning before I do anything, before I brush my teeth and do whatever, or I read a Bible scripture and I keep it moving and I get moving. I don't necessarily, go to church, although because I'm always running, but at least I'll get in a little something, on the internet here and there, but I'll definitely always make sure I wake up to a scripture. I think you need that vision. You need that to keep you grounded and keep your spirituality, no matter what you believe in or don't believe in. Still, whatever, if you don't believe in something, you still need something to ground you. You know, you may be like, if you're an atheist, you're like, look, well, I lead by the devil. At least that's the same thing. He's still leading you.
Oh my God.
But he still lead you. That's what your thing. I ain't here to.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one, no. But you know what I mean? But I don't, I'm one person, I'm funny, I don't criticize people. Like, you'll never see me, oh, well, she this and he that, or something happened with a scandal. You'll never see me posting about it and talking about it. That's not my thing. I'm not into talking about, because that's what happens with us a lot of times. And I know this is off topic, but what we do is, if somebody did something that didn't work with me in business, I'm not gonna go tell the next person, well, I don't mess with them, because maybe it just didn't work out with me. That doesn't say it's not gonna work out with you.
Right.
Don't take my reality and make it your reality. So we always do that. We always bringing each other down, or well, he did this, or criticizing this for what?
Right.
And then we don't want to deal with each other, and nobody else wants to deal with each other, and then we become crabs in the barrel.
Yes. That's a whole
topic,
that's a whole nother conversation. Definitely. Stephanie asked, Stephanie is our social media co-chair. Welcome, Stephanie. She asked, what books do you recommend for future or current entrepreneurs?
See, I'm different. I only read books based off of what I'm trying to practice or what I'm doing. I don't really read self-help books. And that's probably what the real question is. I don't really read those things. Because, like I said, I have a way about myself and what I do and how I do it. And I have a regiment. And I think things like that turn me off. I read one book and I only read part of it. I mean, of course, I read Power, like everybody says, because that's for all the scammers out there and all the people that are just rude and wrong and bad. You read that so you can learn how they act, so you can counter it. But for every counter, there's a reaction that they know how to flip it on you. Then you have your narcissist. So, you got to read about those people. And that's a whole nother can of worms. I'll read about, if I want to get into music, I'll read about music books, how to get into, what's that book? The Business of How to Get into the Music Industry. I read that book. I read books about fashion. Of course, I read other books about fashion. I even read the dictionary of, I'll read the dictionary of something I want to be involved in, like a real estate dictionary. And I'll just look up all the words and read that before I go into reading what actually really means. So, like I said, I read books about coding. Why? Because I don't want to get ripped off when I have somebody want to do my website. So I practice on knowing a little bit about everything.
That's good. Do you believe in manifestation? Do you write things down? Do you focus on them?
No, I don't. Not that I don't believe in it. I mean, that can work for other people. It just doesn't work for me. I believe in just going to it and doing it. I don't have these little ways and little tricks. I mean, only reason why I write something down is if I'm trying to memorize it. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. And everybody has their own.
Everybody has their own thing. And this is the moral of the story. Everybody has their own thing. But while you're at home now, your own thing, use that to and enhance it. Like, I got my own thing, so I'm enhancing what my thing is. I know a lot of people. So now I'm calling a lot of people because now we're all on the same level. Hey, Steve Stout, what's going on, man? How you been? And then, I'm good, man. I'm trying. How are you? All right, yo, you know what? Yo, you know what? Let's try to do this. Oh, I'm doing this. You doing that? Okay, now let's connect. Now we're connecting because half the time, because he's off running, and I'm off running, we never get to connect. Now we have to connect. No choice. So, I mean, I can't say anymore. You have to now reflect on who you are, what you can do, and how you can better yourself. period.
That's it.
And it may not be entrepreneur. Please don't. I'm not pushing that. I'm saying even in your own job, even the job that you have, you know, a lot. It may not be logical for me to tell someone, oh, well, hey, you need to have 5 different sources of income. Well, how you gonna have 5 sources of income if you got a regular job and all day you come home and gotta watch the kids? May not happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right.
So what you and another thing that we have to think about is this thing called being essential. You know, everybody's talking about, you know, essential people can go out their house and go out. Everybody else should stay at home. How can you be essential? Right? If you have a business right now and someone has a business and you're hired from your employee of that business, how are you so essential that they cannot let you go? They're like, look, I don't care. I still got to pay this person because you're essential. How can you figure out how to be essential?
That's important. Yeah, so we have gone over time because you have just been, no, it's good. It's good. And we still have people hanging out with us. So thanks guys for staying on. Is there any last words you want to leave us with? Do you want to talk about anything, plug anything, any upcoming projects? Give it all to us. Give it all to us.
You know, I just want to say, I spoke a lot. I'm wishing everyone well. I hope that I said something that can help someone, because that's the ultimate reason why I'm on this. I'm sitting here wanting to do this. And if you want to follow me, A Fashion Mind on Instagram, please do. If you want to drop me a question, I'll answer it. No problem. And not everything's about money now. Like sometimes not everything's about money. You know,
Right.
don't look at success as just because you made some money. You know, there's a lot of levels to success. You know, find yours, and as long as you don't walk over anybody, and you don't hurt anybody, and you stay, you know, spiritually grounded and stay grounded, you know, you'll be all right. You know, this are all past, and we're looking back and like, oh, remember when? Think of things to do. For instance, we were talking about Zoom and how people were, you know, on these Zooms and things were happening. Film that. Go back to the person and say, listen, I want to do bloopers. Now, all of a sudden, when it comes back on, when it comes back, news stations are going to want things like this. You know, they're going to want, oh, such and such bloopers. You could start a TV show called the Zoom bloopers. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, it's not that hard. Just think.
Yeah,
you know,
things are out there.
Things are out
we
there.
Just have to grab them. Yeah.
Grab it. Exactly. So that's all I have to say. Again, you can follow me on Instagram. That way you'll know all the things that happen, because things are happening fast. My book's coming out. Network, when that's launching, when actually television shows are going to launch, things like that. You know, fubu.com, you can go there, you can follow me, whatever. And that's it. You know, again, it's not really about me plugging what I'm doing. It's about me trying to help you get what you're trying to do. So again, I'm going to be here. I'm going to keep moving. You know, it's about trying to help you keep moving. So no more shameless plugs. Shoot me in your inbox of what you're doing.
It's not plugs, because the information that you are giving us is great information. It's important. So if we have to read your book to get some of those gems, if we have to follow you on Instagram, if we have to, you know, tune into your network to get those gems, and we're going to do it. And again, we're all here.
I'm just a humble, cool guy. So I'm
yes, you are. You're very humble. You're very humble. But we're here to support. You've been a great support to NAMIC, and I appreciate that very much. And we want to be a support to you as well. So we really, really appreciate you taking the time out today to speak with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I learned a lot. You're welcome. And I hope this was really beneficial to everyone who attended. Thank you guys so much for coming. We have another session, the part 2 to our career session on Thursday. I think it's Thursday evening. So I will see you guys then, but thank you, Jay. I wish you all the best of luck. Stay healthy. We need
Yes.
you. Protect
Amen.
Jay at all.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. If anything, you can email namic.newyork@gmail.com if you have any questions. This presentation, I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'm learning all of this stuff on the fly, on the go. Gonna try to record it and see if I can put it on YouTube or Facebook or something. I don't know. Maybe our website, but we'll let you know. Everyone have a good day. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy. Protect your families and protect yourselves. And we will see you soon.
All right.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.